Welcome everyone to another extremely frustrating live stream. I can't believe how dumb stuff is implemented, what absolute low quality garbage of code big mega corporations Unicode and IBM produced. In previous videos you have seen me that cross-compiled ICU, the reference Unicode, International Unicode Consortium C library, doesn't work when cross-compiled, right? Can I actually, alright, I can reproduce it by simply, it probably should work, force install ICU for C. Hello, can we, also ICU for C. ICU info. And that fails, right? So that fails there already, you invalid format error, right? And that is relevant for our cross-compiled Firefox if we cross-compile with another engine, right? So the Unicode library, you should think after 20 years here with good stuff, did I probably ICU4C source. So the copyright here is usually IBM and stuff, right? So hey, free source, okay, this is AC local. So a lot of stuff where I was looking around, like Unicode. This code is at times is old here, 1996, yet some test data. I don't want to research, there are a lot of IBM copyrights from the last 25 years, right? And you would think after 25 years, this stuff, and that is the reference implementation from unicode.org, built on the foundation of IBM and who knows who, and millions of funding, right? And you would think that is the best, most amazing implementation, but it is not. It is absolutely, the more I looked into that, I wasted the whole day. Why am I so frustrated? I spent the whole day getting this bloody build system. It's absolutely cursed. Wherever I looked, this is one of the worst quality, dumbest stuff I've ever seen, and I've seen a lot, right? I mean, maybe it's not the dumbest. I mean, I'm sure if I guru meditate, I will remember even worse stuff. But that is the state of the IT industry, right? Why is everything hashtag peak bugs, low quality bug security vulnerabilities? Like wherever I look, bug security vulnerability, it should not be like this, right? And you can look here yourself. Do I have bash history? Did I know? Here of stuff. This is like totally old-fashioned code like you would have written. Which file is that even now? Package Gen C. Like every file here is stupid, right? And that is, they call the C++, but it's basically mostly C. I have no idea why they throw this mostly C code through a C++ compiler and call it C there. I'm not sure if I've seen any advanced C++ feature. And the craziest thing is, imagine you spend 20 plus years and millions of funding for a code base that even has byte swapping. The craziest part is this code has byte swapping all over the place, but they implemented it so cursed that it doesn't even work. It is basically broken twice. It's double broken. I mean, maybe I'm compiling it wrong in out of spec. Maybe, I mean, it is absolutely, they even documented, you've seen this the other day, right? It is internally, they have here -t, was it -tb, I believe. So this -t in the internal, so they have data structure conversion, right? But it does not work. It is, and why did I spend 8 hours? I mean, obviously I didn't use Visual Studio, and it's already probably 4 hours lost. But all kidding aside, I was as usual debugging, browsing. But I was also obviously debugging at the wrong places because I don't know this cursed code base. And like basically everywhere I looked, like it looked somewhat decent, right? They have here byte swapping. Let's see. And that is the thing, right? If you look everywhere, and here endian is, so they have here everywhere like is big endian and stuff. Like I was debugging through all this cursed stuff, and even when I was a student in 2005, I implemented endian byte swapping. Do I have that here? I have what IBM, Google and stuff, like I'm somehow too good for the IT world. Do I have here probably it's too new of a checkout apparently. There, okay, SVN, HTTP. HTTP, also best with SVN. I implemented when I was a freaking student C++, when C++ was at its infancy, or at least not amazing as today, endianness byte swapping with templates. Here, copyright 2000. No, this stuff is older. Yeah, this code goes as back as maybe even 2000, but basically 2000. And we use it all over the place. Like you could have for decades, probably since C++ in 1998, you could have had template-based. I mean, this is pretending to be C++, but maybe not really. I've shown this. I don't even say they need to do it just like this, but you can implement like you could for decades implement automated here endianness conversion. Yes, the naming sucks and stuff. You can obviously name it nicer, but case in point, endianness converter, UN32, little endianness whatnot. I have little endian, big endian, native endianness, explicit input output. This is not rocket science. Even when I was a student, I could write code like this, and that was a long time ago. And they implemented here garbage byte swapping all over the place, and at the end it does not. They break it twice. The way they break it twice is that partially they don't use it, partially they don't. Yeah, for that code base, for this code path, they don't even use it because this is absolutely cursed garbage. They create here this data, which I also said previously, that should actually be resource files. We've done this differently, right? They even have multiple styles to install this. ICU4C data resource endianness, whatever. We had this found yesterday here somewhere in their amazing documentation. Endianness archive here of whatever they have here somewhere. Library, come on, somewhere you can configure that. But I found this years ago and rediscovered it yesterday, that this does not even work. All those, so the normal people would ship this Unicode data as normal files, as normal data files, but no, they prefer to link the stuff together. And so in that build style, they generate this with their own code. I could not even imagine that, right? It was also not obvious to me. It took also quite a while. I mean, from this 8 hours debugging, half an hour took even where they generate this, right? They generate this data. This is the bloody Unicode data, which I would ship in resource files. And they don't even, I would at least use like something like hex dump or whatever and mangle that in here. They have here even, that is even hard-coded. Like basically wherever I looked, it was absolute lowest. I don't know what influences they are under, what drugs they take. It is absolutely, this code base is such an ridiculous face palming, if I would not be so dedicated, I mean, no normal person would debug 8 hours on this stuff just to ship an embedded Linux distribution. I mean, maybe there's a reason why there are so few working embedded Linux distributions. I also don't know, I mean, probably Apple ships this for the iPhone. I mean, maybe they have done, I mean, maybe some Apple engineer also debugged through all this shit and they kept it for themselves. I mean, obviously, when they didn't natively compile on ARM, they actually, ARM is a little in. You know what? Apple is not affected unless they ship it for PowerPC. Because it only happens if you cross-compile with a different endianness, like for MIPS, embedded boards, PowerPC. There is ARM big endian. They generate this code even. It could not even come to my mind. They have here cgen Was it? Where's this bloody? I debugged others. It's packet Gen C. This stuff, like wherever I look, hard-coded. They have this hard-coded for assembly header styles, and they write even the data here. This is not even for 1998 standards good code. Here is they also can you somehow write C code, like depending on what you configure, what kind of architecture in their convoluted configure stuff. They have here write C code, assembly code, and then write 32. And like, why is everything like this is like log4j quality garbage? And that is why everything is buggy, right? Why everything is hacked, why the whole IT industry is a time-wasting stuff of debugging frameworks and interoperability marginalities. Here they write, I mean, they have here custom printed hex string stuff in 2024. This is how they write this data. They write here in package Gen C, C++, like, this is not even C++ code, it's C. Why do you even call it C++? This is C++. There should be C++ for people too dumb to write even, I mean, Linus Torvalds and his Linux kernel has proven that you can actually write working C code. What is absolutely shocking is that this is so broken, right? And this is twice broken. So the thing is, here they write the data. So they even have here is big endians, and I'm not even. This is so dumb. Like, why is this so dumb? Because normally you use facilities of your C or C++ library to not hex string stuff yourself, and byte swapping this stuff all over. Like, even with my template-based technology from a long time ago here, right? You could long make those data structures endianness neutral, because what they do is so not only did they mess up this here, they even messed up the generation, because visual mode. Come on, visual mode. I'm done for today. I've seen too much dumb stuff today. Like, basically the whole code base is dumb. Like, wherever I looked, they got, and you got to be kidding me for this code that is. And that is what your Firefox is using for Unicode handling. Or probably most things in the world for Unicode handling. They also, I hope my fix file diff. I also YOLO'd here various manual bit swapping, because I was like, most of the time it also didn't have effect, right? They have this because they have this byte swapping handling, and at the end they don't even use it, because bugs of not using it, of using it wrong, it is absolutely mind-blowing how broken this can be. This is why I also YOLO'd here various things around. Not even this is not even used. I was actually debugging this. They have here defined in the make folder. It's not even used. Like this is no effect. Like this kind of stuff you waste 30 minutes debugging for debugging I wanted to change it, didn't even have effect. I debugged 30 minutes and grabbed through the makefiles until I realized it's not even used. And somewhere here, which probably, if I'm unlucky now, I didn't use a right fix file diff, or maybe it was in package data, tools, package data. Created in the year 2000, right? Like for 24 freaking years, that is stupid. Here somewhere, right? Package data. So I reversed this here for debugging. So with two quirks, like with two grave hacks, like 8 hours later, I needed 2 grave hacks, because the thing is, I debugged through all the code base. Like, why is this byte swapping wrong? Why is it not used there? Why is this in here? They have hard coded. Basically, they have here -t, which probably they even documented in the documentation. They have -tl and -tb. They also have E for EDPC or IBM mainframe stuff. But they have -tl and -tb for their actually implemented endian swapping. And then for this package data thing here, this was -qc here. For this, they don't even use it. I was debugging through all the stuff back and forth, left and right, wondering why nothing works, why nothing fits together. And in the end, they didn't even use this byte swapping stuff for this assembly C generation mode. Here, they have this hard-coded write package data if this is a compile time define, which granted, they had there in their make file, but they were not even using that. So they're testing this in configure, they're setting it in the make file, they're not even in my combination using it from there. Instead, they're using it somewhere from, and that is why did it take 8 hours? Because you need to decipher all this stuff. Like everything I looked was broken, like 20 things not used, broken, differently cursed. And then debugging this in all this maze of a make file of running this and that and converting again and generating an assembler file. Somewhere here, big endian, they set this here in some header. So they test this in configure. They probably it was this one. They set this in the make file, don't even use it, and at the end, U is big Indian or whatever, in the end they set it here. Why test it in configure in the make file when here if def big endian then use predefined value, which is nowhere defined in the make file, and then determining it from byte order stuff anyway. This is why in general I say don't test so much stuff like next to nothing in configure. You can do all the things at compile time anyway, which they do. They test it, and then they compile time derive it anyway. So this is, if you build the native helper tool things as documented that you need the native tools, then this is set to, for example, depending on where you build Little Endian, on my Little Endian build server, so it will always on the Little Endian build server always generate a Little Endian assembly file. But why do you implement all the freaking byte swapping if in the end every place you use it is messed up? It is mind-blowing. And so I need 2 hacks to make this work, because first of all the data structures need to be byte swapped, and then the numbers need to be generated, because these are fields, right? This needs to be twice byte swapped, because where even was it? So many that was common. Probably my bash history. My bash history is full of 8 hours of YOLOing around in this dumpster fire of reference code. So somewhere in this stuff here, yeah, for example, and they even have at times detection, is this big endian or not, and then screw it up in the end anyway. I've never seen, and so this is not how you write code, right? And the problem is, people, students, school people, hobbyists, they see this Unicode reference implementation and learn, they think this is how IBM and Apple and Google write code, and that is how you write code. No, this is the biggest bullshit. This is absolutely like everything how not to do it. I don't understand how in 25 years this was not refactored to a shiny, amazing library when everything is open coded, no automate. It's like everything custom handled like it's the 70s. This is not modern code. This is ancient code from code archaeologists have dug this up in Egypt or whatnot. So old stinking is this code. And this is everywhere, like everywhere you look, it's bit rotten code like this. It's mind-blowing. I'm not even sure if this is now header. Somewhere they have swap header. Where even was it? Either this or common. Too many freaking files here. U data. You see, they have it implemented, and in the end, it barely works. It works for some native code cases, but not freaking others. Where was the maybe here header? Yeah, I mean, you see, they code experts among you, comment below how many stars do you rate this code from 0 to 10? Because from me, this code gets really 0 stars. I can't recommend it, right? We need more people who speak out what is wrong in our industry, because this is wrong. And it's also wrong that, I mean, I knew this bug for 3 years, and I was always like, I mean, I looked into this 3 years ago. It's like, dude, I'm not in the mood to debug this bullshit. Like 3 years later, okay, in the meantime, it would really be nice if we could fully working cross-compile Firefox, which otherwise we can mostly, unless the Firefox, the bit rotten dumpster Firefox code base would work. Somehow the measure is, the bigger the organization, the bigger the foundation, the bigger the company, the worse the code quality. Maybe all the best people leave, they hire the cheapest people they find. I don't know why, and maybe they destroy all the good people in meetings and whatnot, other alienations. I don't know why the bigger the stuff I look into, the worse it always is. There is no even, and it's swap any version. It's like do some swapping. There was even here maybe tree swap. No, you see this? It's full with bloody byte swapping. In the end, for nothing. In the end, it doesn't even work. And by the way, I would also suggest for such a prominent base foundation library that cross-compiling, especially cross-endianness, would just work. But no, I mean, besides, it does not work for endianness difference anyway. Additionally, they require that you manually pre-compile this native package generation things and then build it a second time, right? Besides, I would tool it so that I don't need native programs that generate binary data. You can obviously script this in different ways, looking at Python, God forbid Perl, Ruby, Python, or even you can do this with GNU.org, right? You could generate this with GNU.org if you wanted to, but everything is better than native things usually. You could also ship I would also ship resource files, not compile. It's totally non-standard and not good practice to build resource files into binary objects, in my opinion, to start with. I mean, maybe some tiny data and strings and stuff, but not 20 megabyte or whatnot of Unicode data, because we're talking about hundreds, thousands of Unicode code points for language selection, hyphenation, word and line wrapping and stuff, right? And upper and lower case and whatnot handling, right? So this is what we're talking about. Wherever this header thing was, there's also wherever you get the idea. It's somewhere in there. Absolutely mind-blowingly stupid. Especially that we need 2 hacks to make this work, right? I probably I now screwed this up. So this is test, right? ICU info. All right, you also wanted to see this. Right, this is on. Also, this is on. IBM PowerPC 970 MP. Necessity for gracious living. And so I see you test info. So that doesn't work, right? As read the freaking manual, as cross-compiled as they wanted, and as cross-compiled as it wants, data files not working, then do we not have SCP? Is it no? Wait, we have. I just need to. It's probably this one. Move that there. Info and U0 error success. I hope it works. I need to test that it really works. I think Firefox still segmentation false. One dumpster fire of stuff. Also best with starting Xserver first. And yeah, I didn't actually test this after I fixed it. But I mean, this will not fix it. Unfortunately, we still have some more JavaScript and XPT call things. It's like, yeah, Firefox is still waiting for me. It's obviously, no. But at least now with this, I mean, not only that the Unicode library needs out of the box to work, like if you use the reference embedded Linux that everyone increasingly loves for bug fixes and stuff just working. So if you are a car manufacturer or some rocket engines or satellites, right, you want like working stuff, then obviously it's increasingly only one solution. It's, as far as I've seen, also broken in Open Embedded, because before the live stream earlier today I checked patches, Open Embedded Gen 2, nothing there. So probably Open Embedded also only works if you cross-compile to the same NDNS, which most people probably aren't, so you're lucky there. But yeah, everything how it should not be. It's shamefully frustrating. This code base is ridiculous. How many files are this even? I wondered. Oh, this is also tests and samples. 141 is not even minus tests and samples. Nah. Yeah, leave in the comments below. This is why it's crazy, right? And then we have 2,000 Linux distributions. Okay, most don't support Big Endian, and most don't support cross-compiling, leaving only one embedded Linux distribution to fully work, increasingly, unsurprisingly. And for those who knew, here in this channel, that is what I'm doing for 25 years, right? 25 years, the reference authority of actually patching, quirking, fixing everything to just freaking work TM. Now live on YouTube. Yeah, I guess I deserve my night, now that it's 22:33. Thanks Unicode Consortium for this free code that I had the pleasure to fix. It was a fun ride. And the crazy thing is I nearly wanted to give up, right? I was sitting here, darn, this is impossible. This is like due 8 hours today, and this like, is this unfixable? I was really thinking, is it the first thing I really can't get to fix? I was thinking here, man, I'm 8 hours in. Should I give up? But no, I want Firefox on my Big Endian systems. Like, but it's 8 hours. Like, eventually enough is enough. Like, when is enough enough? Thankfully, you share, like, subscribe. Donate a token of appreciation at Patreon or YouTube membership. It is, and the sad thing is I have another dumpster fire that is G-object introspection also too, which obviously also doesn't support cross-compiling because that is too difficult, and only the strongest and hardest and most educated and 25 years experience not working at IBM master Jedis of code meditation can eventually tackle. I have already the feeling G-object introspection will be even more cursed to get working, but other embedded people run G-object introspection through QEMU, which I don't approve of because we don't have QEMU for everything. QEMU is otherwise dog slow and this, that, and the other, right? So let's probably pack this up. You know what? We pack this up on Twitch to see Twitch, right? Otherwise this YouTube stream gets long. So if you want to see this packing together, and it will take another 15 to 20 minutes just to YOLO together, because first I need to, yeah, anyway, you get the idea. I didn't use the fixed file things for everything and need to test it and stuff and so on. And it's a hack, so I need to write some custom code of if host system endiness versus target endiness, then apply this gross hack, because this is not worth my 8 hours of donating my lifetime of fixing the open source ecosystem. IBM should have done it. Apple should have done it. Latest, Google should have done it. Did Google not support Android on MIPS or so? Imagination Technologies of MIPS fame previously, like there are 10,000 developers who could have done that before me, and yet it's not fixed upstream. Yeah, with this rotten of a code base, it is no wonder, right? I'm speechless. Yeah. If it were not for this YouTube channel, I might have already stopped doing that, because is it really worth it? Is it? It's after 25 years really reaching a tipping point of event horizon that is eventually crossing of no point of return, of keeping fixing others people's embarrassingly low code quality. Yeah, little star management tools from C. Comments here. If I start multi-platform C++ project now, which build system would you suggest? Probably, yeah, we have 24 build systems and they all suck. Maybe Meson. CMake is also cursed. Leave me in the comments below if there is a better thing than Meson on Ninja. Probably, I guess. CMake is a horror show. AutoConf is vintage and outdated. I would actually go as far as say I would prefer AutoConf over CMake, because I don't understand what people see in CMake. CMake is absolutely convoluted, low quality code base as on the level of Unicode stuff here. So, but yeah. Is Rust easier to read than C code? Both can. Rust has not a nice syntax in my opinion. The Rust syntax is awful. If you write clean C code, if you write clean C code, it can be more readable. But if you write such cursed C code, it's not more readable. And if you write cursed Rust code, it is also not readable. So you can write low quality and unreadable and cursed code, like obfuscated code in any language. So it depends on the capabilities of the writer. Similarly, some authors write good books and others not, and that is not a good book here. It's yeah, many Xaren chimes in, CMake was abandoned by many projects for Meson. Yeah, for at least open source. Probably CMake is more of a commercial thing, I think. Not only LVM and Qt migrated to that, but yeah, popular open source, like Meson is probably more popular open source than in companies, but at least it's cleaner and readable, and CMake is just horrible. This is the thing, we had a dozen sucking build systems, and then they invented CMake, and then we had 13 sucking build systems, which arguably I would kind of, I was never the greatest fan of AutoConf, but when I saw CMake, I was thinking like, at least AutoConf is debuggable, and yeah, but anyway. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this and learned something. I need to get drunk now, but don't try this at home. And let's move over to Twitch. Oh yeah, yesterday people asked for Twitch. Twitch is of course here. let's package this up and build this one more time to see that it really works. Because what's not finally tested is of course broken. So we not only need to YOLO this together, we also need to then test all our questionable hacks. Obviously, I'm not satisfied with my hacks of just overwriting. There's some stuff, but hey, it's absolutely cursed, right? Like there is not like I can make this magically nicer. I can't sugarcoat dog shit, right? So it's what it is, right? So heck it is. Like if you see some gross hacks in our Linux distribution, it is because it was so broken, it was impossible to hack nicer, right? Like making it nicer means rewriting all this shitty code base, right? And I'm not rewriting the Unicode library. That is, they have, anyway, see you on Twitch. Let's package this up and have a good day or night. And do me a favor, don't write code like this. It's like, don't write this old-fashioned C code and call it C++ and And that is also why they call it C++, but it's not really C++. And theoretically, for 25 years, I'm already, let's at least do C++. And 25 years later, people still do shitty C code, call it C++, and write. Even the Rust code I had to fix, right? And write Rust code that is not 32-bit safe. Share, like, subscribe. See you on Twitch. Have a good day or night. And don't write code under influences like this.